film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.
Coming at you from the mean streets of St. Louis, from a basement on South Broadway, the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Because indie film is... So anyway, here we are.
That's why we drink.
That's why we drank. Remember, this is all I got to say. 69. Episode 69.
Oh, wow.
That was too easy.
I don't know what you're referencing, but...
Okay.
So,
I didn't know if anybody else was going to mention. I thought I'd just let it out of the bag early.
I don't understand what's the significance
Okay,
of
I thought
this.
you guys were the immature ones, but apparently it's me.
Well, also the numbering system isn't necessarily correct, so I don't know exactly what episode this is.
Okay.
Well, it's recording 69.
Okay.
Oh, there's that.
So there's that. So we're just going to roll with it then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's on your mind tonight, Mr. Greg? My name's Mackie, by the way.
I'm Chris Grega.
I'm Brock Roberts.
Good to see you, Brock.
I said like Greg did last episode.
What's that? If these are in order, Brock, don't be screwing up the magic.
That's right. This is actually more like 71 or 72.
Is it really?
There's a couple that have not made the cut, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. But maybe this one plays, maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
This one's probably not going to make it, to be honest.
No. Listen, if this is your first time listening, A, I apologize.
Why?
But B, we're having fun. This is Indie Film Sucks podcast. We talk about the highs, the lows, the in-betweens of true independent film.
Good job,
making.
Mackie. Look at you go.
Exactly. I just rattled that off. I think Tommy owes Greg a $5 just the way I rattled that off right there.
Yes.
Okay. So, we like to talk about, tonight we're going to talk about sequels to films, I think is something that we've been talking about with Beetlejuice coming out. We like to talk about independent films. Sometimes we talk about movies, but a lot of times we talk about our experience in independent films and the independent film we have coming out and working through distribution, different avenues of what that looks like is Red Knighted Skies. So we talk about that a lot. We talk about the past movies we made in independent films. But what we like to do also is bring on independent filmmakers and people in the industry that are doing it, working, acting, and producing films, independent films, on a regular basis. So some of our best stuff is probably the interviews.
Probably.
These are ones we just gotta have some fun with and blow off some steam in between of when we have good interviews or good topics or we're talking about contracts or things we're working on. So tonight I think we're going to talk about sequels because Beetlejuice 2 just came out, and I think tonight we were kind of laughing about it a little bit. I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the first Beetlejuice. So
Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. And
Ever?
No.
God, you are sheltered, man.
I am. I'm a sheltered man.
The movie is almost 40 years old.
Exactly,
at
and I'm 50 something. So
damn. That Beetlejuice is actually one of my most favorite go-to movies.
Okay. And what about Beetlejuice 2? You haven't seen it yet?
I hadn't had time to see it yet.
Okay.
I definitely will be going to see it.
So here's my problem with movies. Not movies. Here's my problem with people seeing movies that have catchphrases or catch lines or certain things that catch on with people is by the time I have a chance to see it, I know every stupid thing that ever happened in the movie and I don't want to go see it after that. Talladega Nights is a movie. I don't have to go see it because I could tell you every single thing that happened in the movie. Same thing with the one that was, San Diego. What the hell is that movie?
Anchorman.
Exactly. I don't have to go see the movie because I could tell you every frickin' line because everybody's frickin' repeating them.
It's still funnier when you see it.
I know. I agree. And I've gone back and watched some of them, but I can't stand not being able to experience a movie with everybody coming up to me and saying crap.
I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan, to be perfectly honest. I just don't find him that funny. Never have.
It's not about Will Ferrell. It's about people ruining the movie for you.
I'm just talking about Will Ferrell. You're listing off Will Ferrell movies. I'm like, I just don't
you're
think
right.
I
did. I just rattled off 2 right away. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But those are the most catchphrase line movies.
So you never saw Beetlejuice?
Yeah, I never saw Beetlejuice.
Man.
You ever see Step Brothers?
No.
God damn, that is funny too.
I know. This isn't a Mackie
anyway,
beat up session. Let's not beat up on
Let's
Mackie here.
digress on that a little
Exactly.
bit.
Well, I mean, I was
forgive
not a big Jim Carrey. I mean, I was a big Jim Carrey fan of who he is, right? Isn't he? No, he's not in Step Brothers, is he?
No, he is not. That's another Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Step Brothers is Matt Damon and.
No.
See, this is how bad I am. Okay.
Will Ferrell and what's his name? The dude with the curly hair.
Yeah. See, I don't.
What's
I
his
don't know.
name? John C. Riley.
Yeah.
Funny thing is we're talking
and
about
he's-
stupid movies.
And he's a fan. Well, that's what happens here.
no, not stupid. I can't say that. They serve
They're
their
just not up
purpose.
your alley.
Exactly.
But
Nah,
John C. Riley's a fantastic actor. Holy
is.
shit.
Agree. And I've seen
And
Chicago
singer.
and a lot of things he's been in that he's incredible in.
Mm-hmm.
John C. Riley is an incredible character actor, one of the best.
But sequels, as we were discussing.
As Beetlejuice. So, Greg, you're the only one who'd seen Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And obviously, we don't want to give anything away. But what did you think about it? Because I know you liked the original Beetlejuice
Yes.
as well, and Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the original Beetlejuice when it came out. Maybe in a theater. It's been so long, I don't remember. And of course, being of a certain age and a certain era, I had a huge crush on Winona Ryder at the time. And the sequel, it was okay. It was a movie that did not need a sequel, right? It wrapped up just fine the way it was, but it was okay. It was enjoyable. It was reminiscent of the first one. I personally thought the best part of it was Michael Keaton.
Yes.
The
But
first one, too.
Yeah, the first one too. But in the first one, he's definitely the antagonist, and in this one, he's not entirely the antagonist. Without giving things away.
No, I understand what you're
So
saying.
how many people from the old cast did they bring back? Is that giving something away?
No, almost everybody.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't bring back Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin for probably the most obvious reason.
Well, at least one of them.
well, no, I mean,
They already moved on. Their characters moved on anyway.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I never saw it, so I don't know. But
Yeah,
I thought you
well-
meant for like personal things outside
too.
of the film.
No. They didn't
Okay.
bring back Jeffrey Jones for personal things
Okay.
outside of film because
Okay.
he's alleged, accused,
That's
pedophile.
That's what
all-
that's what I was thinking.
all
Which
that.
one? Which one was he?
He was the father, Charles Dietz.
Really?
Yeah, he's done all sorts of not good stuff, not
No
good
kidding. Well, fuck-
sexual stuff with minors. Which
Yeah, well,
I'm not
fuck
gonna,
that guy.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into all that, but
So who produced this movie? Who put this
it's a
together?
Tim Burton film.
Oh, okay. So Tim Burton put it back together.
I think it's the only way Michael Keaton would have done it.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's strong power behind Tim Burton.
Well, he
Because
put
a lot of times sequels, if you want to hit on sequels, don't.
Tim
have the
Burton
same-
put Michael Keaton in Batman. You know, the really really good one back in the 80s, 88.
Well, here's the thing, because I just recently rewatched for the first time since I saw it, the very first time in '89, Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
I have not seen that movie since it first came out.
Oh wow, what'd you think? Second time.
I think it is very much of its time, and it's a good film of its time, but it doesn't. It's still a good film, right? I'm not saying it's a bad film,
Right.
but it doesn't really compare to movies now. It definitely felt slow and clunky, and the action scenes didn't really hit, and it was fun to revisit it, but the wow factor.
So why
From
watching
almost-
an old black and white, just going, holy crap.
Well, from 35 years later, the wow factor is not what it was.
Well,
but
take any movie from back then, compare it to now. You're going to say the same thing.
not necessarily, because
Action, like those action type.
I
movies.
just rewatched Aliens, which is a sequel, because my girlfriend had never seen Aliens. And
Holy cow. Can't believe that.
have you seen Aliens?
I have.
I'm surprised. and it still hits. It still hits just as hard. I mean,
Hey, Grega, the genre probably put me into watching the sequel on that one.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. It does. It hits hard. I digress and apologize.
Yeah, but Aliens is, again, if we're talking about sequels, that was not. Alien did not necessarily need a sequel.
It did not.
It was, much like the first Star Wars, it's pretty much a completely encapsulated film. I guess with Star Wars, Darth Vader gets away, so we have to find out what happens to him. But definitely with the first Alien movie, you didn't need a sequel. But we got Aliens, and it was pretty awesome.
It was. It was good. And I'm glad it was good because I was just like, okay, now I can watch. If anything else comes out, now you got me hooked.
But all of the subsequent films in that series, Alien 3, Prometheus.
Some people still like Prometheus.
But those are so far in between. I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot of years in between. Not Aliens 3 per se.
Well, it was 92. Everything after Aliens was, in my opinion, a letdown. Alien 3 was a letdown. Alien 4 was a letdown. Prometheus was a letdown. Covenant was a letdown. Most of the Alien versus Predator movies were a letdown. Saw Romulus recently, and that was decent. I enjoyed Romulus for what it was. I thought it was a pretty good film. What I thought lessened the experience for me, because I'm assuming neither one of you guys have seen Romulus.
No, I have not.
No.
There were a lot of callbacks to other films, which is kind of a modern storytelling thing, I guess.
I like that kind of thing.
So do I.
I didn't. I thought it
didn't work in this one?
it made it a lesser film.
Okay.
Really?
Because there was like an iconic line that a character used. I'm like, really?
Oh, okay.
That
Take
take
cheese?
No, but it takes away from the original line.
Yeah, that's different.
And they brought back a character that they didn't need to. I'm
Yeah.
like, really?
No. They shot for something that didn't work.
Did they put
Right?
Jar Jar Binks in it?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yes. And I was really surprised when the alien burst out of his chest. And,
Wow! Holy cow! This is
I would
like
pay money
this
to
is a
see
movie-
that.
So would I.
An
This is the
alien-
movie we want to see.
An alien coming out of Jar Jar's
This
chest.
is the movie they
I'd see
should have
that.
made. It's
You
George
still don't
Lucas.
feel
actually.
so good.
It's George Lucas actually.
I'll be honest. One of the few people, I like Jar Jar Binks.
What a freak.
I do.
I have no opinion on it. It was just part of the movie for me.
I
Part of the series.
don't,
It had nothing to do with sequels, not sequels, that kind of
I
stuff.
don't
just-
hate Jar Jar, and I don't hate the Ewoks.
to
I like the
to
Ewoks.
just take an offshoot of sequels, remakes. I don't know that anybody has a good idea anymore to make a new movie that I see.
Well,
You-
Hollywood's revisiting old movies, old TV shows.
It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I saw an interview with Ben Affleck or somebody who was saying that the risk of putting something new out there, that's why you'll never see an 80s
That was
comedy
Ricky.
again.
That was Ricky Bobby, who you were referencing.
Who's that?
I'm
Oh,
teasing.
okay. No. But the risk, thanks. You're confusing me now because I haven't seen any movies. That's Talladega Nights.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But the risk, I don't know who it was, but the risk of making something like them, like the who's the guys that did 16 Candles and
John Hughes.
yeah, exactly. Making those movies, the risk of doing that is so big that everybody's afraid to put themselves out there to make anything like that again. So they just go back and rehash some of the stuff that's already been
Well,
done.
of course, and everyone shits on Hollywood. Oh, there's no creativity. Movies cost millions upon millions of dollars to make.
But also the risk of you can't tell the same jokes.
No.
You can't get that edgy stuff which was funny but may not be politically correct now, or whatever correctness you want to say, that people are afraid to do it. So they just take stuff and they rehash it, or they come up with something that necessarily doesn't work. And that's the remake side of things, on what I see.
Well, a remake is
It's different.
it's a safer bet.
Right, but that's why they're doing remakes and not making something new. I guess where I was going, Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think about the ungodly sums of money involved. Like if we make a film, it costs us quote unquote a lot of money, but $60, $70, $80, $100,000, and we've made movies for far less than that. But I mean, that's kind of a
That's a lunch.
Okay.
yeah.
So do you think they should have remade True Grit?
I think the remake was better.
Oh, wow.
I gotta agree with Grega, for real.
Okay.
I do. I like the first one too.
Yeah, the first one was good. The remake actually was closer to the book.
Okay. If you put, I agree with you on that stance.
Yeah, I
if you're
did.
looking at
The
it from that
book. The
stance.
book had no.
It was closer than the book. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't read the book. I just purely just for the art of the movie. I like the newer one, which is not.
So it did it justice, in your opinion.
Yeah.
If you look at if we get away from sequels, which we can go back to, but remakes. If you look at something like that, a classic, a true classic, John Wayne, right?
Yeah, and things are so. If you want to remake something from that era to now, it's going to be totally. The acting's different. The way people acted back then is different than it is now. Character actors are so awesome to watch, and the new True Grit, which is not really new anymore. It just the acting was phenomenal, and every one of them. Hell, you saw Barry Pepper. You didn't realize it was Barry Pepper right at the beginning, you know.
Yeah,
And
he's a good actor. He's a good
yeah,
character actor.
underrated actor if you ask me. But yeah, True Grit is a great remake, I think. But I still like the old one too.
So, I mean, that's how I look at things. It's like sequels are right. You can go with The Godfather. I mean, you can talk about the good ones.
Sure.
There's good sequels.
I mean, yeah, The Godfather 2 was a great sequel.
Won
Godfather,
Oscar, right? I mean,
Godfather 3,
but we talked about this on another podcast. Going, people take it and run with the franchise because it's a money-driven organization.
Sure.
And it's safe. Getting back to why people remake things or don't do anything new anymore.
So what? This is probably a separate subject, but what makes people go to the sequel? Is it because the movie was good, because the actors are good, or both put together? What are you guys' opinions on that? Why do you think they make a sequel? Is it just basically because the box office is so good for the first one? Oh, fuck. Okay, now let's write up another one, see if we can get it again.
I don't know why they make them. I mean, it's probably because of money. I'll take the Rambo series, right? Because that came out when I was a kid.
First Blood. Yeah.
Yep. I would have gone and seen any single thing of that up to a certain point. They had me. Guy was cool. Was a great character. Didn't care. I mean, I wasn't into like storyline or whatever like that. It's just like give me anything Chuck Norris. Give me anything with Dirty Harry at that time. They build characters that were bigger than...
They became iconic characters.
Exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes it works. Like, in my opinion, all of the Mad Max film, they all work.
I agree.
Mad Max works. The Road Warrior works. Beyond Thunderdome works. And then many, many years later, Fury Road worked. And in my opinion, very strongly, Furiosa worked. But then other times it doesn't work. You have Jaws, which is an awesome film. Then you have Jaws 2, which, less awesome.
Then Jaws 3D.
Well, then you
Jaws,
got Jaws
3,
3D.
which is terrible. Jaws 4, which is even worse.
Right, but they're making them because the franchise works.
Yeah.
I stopped seeing them because it stopped working for me. Jaws didn't appeal to me, per se. Like, the first Jaws was a great movie, and saw it. Jaws 2, saw it. Jaws 3, I didn't see anything past that because I thought it was intriguing, and I love Spielberg, you know, from that kind of...
Sure, look at Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right, of course. But I'm in love with Indiana Jones and the idea behind that and everything that represents.
Yeah, the first 3 films worked. The fourth one...
Yeah, but they bring in an iconic actor with Sean Connery.
Sure, for the third one.
I know,
but the fourth one, they tried to reboot it with Shia LaBeouf. And then the kid just... It's not his fault. I think he's a pretty decent actor, but it just didn't work as the new Indiana Jones.
But it was somebody trying to... and we argued a little bit about the Rocky series, right? I thought that lost its luster.
The Rocky things, in my opinion, when they brought back Balboa,
they brought it back. They absolutely brought it back.
Instead of, and then they kind of spun off of it with the Creed, and all of them movies are fucking phenomenal.
I haven't seen any of those.
Oh man,
right.
I mean, I saw the Rocky films, but I haven't seen.
But
any
if you
of the
take
Creed
Rocky
films.
right up to where it gets silly.
yeah, but then it gets good again when they rename it Balboa.
But all of a sudden they go Balboa and they go, oh, we got another franchise.
They do.
Let's go Creed.
And they spun it off.
I think that's genius. That's
Yeah,
somebody thinking.
That was Stallone.
Exactly. I think that's thinking outside the box. But they had to lose it first, in my opinion. They had to lose it with some of those. They held on to that a long time.
Well, see, that goes back. So Stallone has cachet. You know, he's bankable in almost anything he ever does.
Yeah, but I stopped caring about Rocky. That was the bankable thing, was the Rocky thing, right? Like I cared about...
it was for a while, but then Stallone became the bankable guy.
Exactly. Once they switched it and got him out of that lead thing and started doing Creed and Balboa and all that kind of stuff, I think they made the character for what it was. Rambo can only go so long.
He's been going a long time.
I know, but you know those.
He's got a rocket launcher on his wheelchair, I think, right now.
So,
Well, there's like 5 Rambo movies.
Yeah, and they're fun, man.
Yeah, they're all decent.
they are fun, and as long as the character is believable, I'm in. I will not go first run theater to them, and I don't even show it first run theater.
Yeah, I
anymore.
still like the original better than any of them, though.
Oh, you and me both.
First Blood is amazing.
You and me both. But I think that's when you look at sequels, you have to start taking that consideration, and I think it becomes corporate greed a little bit. like studio greed in going, we got something, we got these people, and as long as we make a fourth of this, we're still good.
Well, of course, that's where things like Sharknado come from.
Oh my God, I wish I would have done Sharknado.
Sure,
I
yeah.
mean, you kidding me? Ian Ziering or whatever his name is.
Ian Ziering.
Yeah, exactly. He's just raking it in.
Of course, I mean it's a pile of crap, but it doesn't matter because
But if you
people
make
watch
something
it.
that far over the top, though, that becomes like a
it's meant to be.
instant cult.
Yeah,
That's meant to be.
Yeah.
You can't.
Sure, but there's for every Sharknado, there's 1,000 which didn't hit. There's Cocaine Gator.
Very true. But the only reason there's a Sharknado 2 is because there's a Sharknado 1 that
Yeah.
was popular as hell.
Yes.
So, I mean, let's go in our category of horror, with Friday 13th and Halloween. A lot of those work. They hit the mark because they knew who their villain was and they knew who the victim was, and they worked. It's when they deviated, like Halloween. Is it 2 or 3?
It's Halloween 3, but Halloween 3.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, no,
everybody knows.
that was the original idea that Carpenter had. It was going to be an anthology series. That it wasn't. It was just because Halloween 1 was so popular and Michael Myers became so popular that it did not become an anthology series. But it was supposed to be. Halloween was not necessarily Michael Myers, but it was a different Halloween-based horror thing. So Season of the Witch. Whereas that seems out of line with the rest of the franchise, it's actually in line with the original concept.
And I gotta say, I haven't seen that movie in 20 plus years, but I still enjoyed the movie. I didn't think should have been part of the franchise because it didn't have Michael Myers.
But
the
you
movie
saying
itself
that,
was scary as fuck.
But you
as a
saying
kid.
that changes a lot of things for me that I didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's the part that people that aren't invested that much into Carpenter and the series and that kind of stuff may not know. And I went, I just go,
Just don't put the silver shamrock mask on,
yeah,
man.
I can sing the song. 2 more days down
Yeah, I haven't
Halloween.
it's actually been
Silver
30 years.
Shamrock.
Yeah, I bet it's
But
been 30
guess
years
what?
since I've seen the movie.
Seen it, still reciting it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I thought it was a piece of crap.
I liked it.
But, I mean,
But you held on to that Carpenter vision.
true. But I didn't know that at the time, when I saw it when I was a kid. But I thought the first Halloween was great. Scary as hell.
Yeah.
But subsequently, when Michael Myers became this unstoppable evil demigod, that's what turns me off.
Well, they turn into superheroes.
But I
almost.
thought they came back later. I thought they did a good job coming back later with some of the later Halloweens.
I haven't seen some of the later
Oh,
ones,
okay.
so I couldn't tell
I
you.
think
Well,
I think
I kind of liked the reboot when Rob Zombie took over.
Yep. That's what
He
I'm
got
saying.
a little bit deeper into Michael Myers, and it was, I dug it.
It was a good twist.
I
It was.
don't know if it's a twist, but they just went deeper into his character.
It wasn't that in your face because I could place Michael Myers, Jason in the same movie. Doesn't matter. Same character, same story. It's
Slasher.
exactly. But I thought when Zombie took it over, it's because the franchise was dying or dead, and it just kind of rebooted it, and it was exciting for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think in that sense.
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen
The
any
Rob,
of that.
you should probably give that a shot.
But
you probably hate it, knowing
the
you.
greatest thing about horror genre is you can make 1,000,000 of them.
That's
Freddy
true.
versus Jason, it's just like, and you just look at the Freddy, people will be more lenient in that, I think, genre.
Yes.
But it's funny because I work next to a guy who is into the horror stuff, and he can tell you everything about Halloween, and he'll still watch them, but he'll be mad as hell. He'll still be dedicated to it and be like, why'd they do that? I can't believe it. And I'm like, what, are you going to give it up? Hell no, I'm not giving it up. I'm not gonna turn it off. I'll keep watching them. I'll keep doing whatever I got to do. But
Has he seen our movie?
he has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it hasn't. No,
Oh,
not this one.
Typical.
I think he saw a couple other ones. No, he had to pay to go see it. But anyway, I just think if you look at the different genres, if you look at horror, I think that's something where that's a different sequel kind of atmosphere. And if you take the Aliens, right, those are better movies within that genre, I think. But slasher, thrash, all those kind of things, I just think it works and the people are dedicated to it.
Well, some of the bigger ones like Halloween, the early Friday the 13th, the early Nightmare on Elm Streets, they had some good backstory at the beginning of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it just
Then it got kind of silly.
yeah, they did, and I like you, Greg. I like story. I like have a reason why shit's happening, and that's kind of why I like the new Halloween one.
Yeah, which I haven't seen, so I
Yeah.
can't comment to that. But
Yeah.
like, the original Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
was the
good.
mom doing the killing.
Yeah.
Like, that was a cool twist. And
Yes.
then Jason comes out of the lake.
Agree.
I mean, and then, he became whatever, some unstoppable evil
Unnatural
superhero.
yeah.
But in that genre, the people that are watching those films are made for people that love those films. And
Sure.
I think that's why they work and why they can be the way they are. Now, somebody wants to reboot something and take it and go, I need to revive this. I think he did a great job of doing that. I think, you can argue that some of those Friday the 13th movies that made just as much money as, not the first one, or some of the classics, but they're very revenue generated.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
If you look at it from that standpoint.
Because the name Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
They wouldn't stand on their own today if they didn't have that name.
No,
No,
I mean,
but that's
we
the
saw a
franchise.
fan film at one of our
That's a pretty fucking good one.
one of the festivals
Chicago
we were
as
at,
well,
Chicago,
yeah.
and it was a Friday the 13th fan film,
Had a couple people from the,
The sixth one.
yeah.
and it was a legit good movie.
Yep.
But if not for Friday the 13th,
Right.
it might not have even gotten the festival.
Well, I think it was. I don't know.
It probably would have gotten the festival. It was a good movie.
it
It
was-
was a very well made movie.
Yeah, I think it would have gotten to that festival for sure. It was made very well.
But it did not feel like I was watching a fan film
No, that's why.
because they had some of the actors from
No, I
earlier films.
100% agree with you. And somebody took advantage of that. And if you're talking about sequels, and you can look at it from, do we like them? Right? We can take this in many, and we discussed a lot tonight on profitability, why people watch them, why we hate them, why we like them. So breaking that down into different segments is important. So those, Friday the 13th, I think it's 100% going, you put that name in there, people are going to go watch it.
Yes. Well, Amityville.
Oh,
See, another one. But
That-
you're in
that-
that same genre, though.
It's been so long since I've seen the
Oh, me too.
original Amityville horror, but I remember it scaring the shit out of me
Yep.
as a kid.
Absolutely.
But now that Amityville is on so many movies, it's
What's it, The Ring? What is that?
well, no, there's so many Amityville Western and Amityville like
Oh, no shit.
there's 1,000 Amityville movies.
I did not.
now.
I did not
well,
know
kind of
that.
like
Yes.
the Annabelle movies are connected to I can't even remember how many different movies are connected to the Annabelle. They're all kind of
Conjuring.
Conjuring, yeah.
Oh, that's it. I thought it was The Ring. Is that
They're all kind of close.
okay?
Yeah, but I think one of the newer ones, it's not so new anymore, which was freaking to me, was Saw.
Yes, but I thought Saul stayed pretty true.
I
mean,
They
how
are
many-
true. They're all
how
the
much
same.
how much crazy crap can you come up
Yeah,
with? Whoever
I
who
know.
did those, Gregor, you know.
And then one of our favorite,
Psycho.
one of our favorites, got to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. That's got to be one of the best
Well,
ones.
Yes.
Has to be.
I mean, when you
Yes,
put
Chop Top in it.
you put Chop Top in there, exactly.
Yeah. And,
No, but another good franchise.
Yeah.
That I guess knew what it was doing.
Yeah.
Got the cult following, made it,
Hmm.
and I don't think the second one's bad at all.
no, it's good.
Yeah, from that standpoint. But
That's
then
it's better than the first one, I think.
you start getting away from that a little bit, and it drifts off. But when you're hooked, you're hooked, right? I think when you get in that genre, those don't matter as much as when you get into different genres for sequels. If we're just going to go back to sequels,
Sure.
because they're not going to be judged as much.
Yeah.
Because as long as I see the character, the villain, or whoever that creature or evil person is, I'm happy. And as long as they're killing people, and as long as it's exciting, and there's something else, and you leave me a cliffhanger because I know there's another one coming, I'm good.
There's another sequel that just came out earlier this year from a movie that was made in the 90s, Twisters.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Was that a sequel
So
or a remake?
it's a
a
sequel. It's a sequel. It's not a remake at all. So,
I thought it.
in the early 90s, mid-90s, I guess it came out, mid-late. Anyway,
Early 90s.
yeah, it was it's a pretty good movie. It's a really good movie,
Wait,
actually.
Twisters came out.
No, Twister came out
Twister.
in the 90s.
Okay, with Bill Paxton and,
Yes.
and Helen Hunt.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes,
Good
okay.
movie. It's fun
Great
to
movie.
watch.
Great movie. They made rides on it.
Yeah, they
At the
sure
theme
did.
parks.
It's pretty. They're pretty damn cool.
Yes.
I've been there. And then this new one came out.
you
with the
seen
whole,
that?
I did. And it's a whole new cast, whole new everything. It was definitely, I don't know if it's necessarily a sequel, but it's just about, tornadoes in the Oklahoma in this movie. And I don't remember if they referenced too much of the Twister itself, but it stood on its. I think it stood on its own as another movie.
Man,
And
it has been a long time since I've seen the original.
it's on all the time.
I mean, Twister was like revolutionary with the
with the
CGI.
technology, yeah.
Is that? I agree. So
Yeah.
I thought Twisters was a remake.
No,
Sorry,
definitely
so
not a remake.
I was wrong.
It's entertaining. I'd watch. I'd recommend
Was it?
it.
I thought it was supposed to be like a 4D kind of thing.
No, I watched it in a regular.
Oh, was it? Okay. I don't know. Again, it's something I wasn't.
No, the story.
interested in 'cause I thought-
It actually had a good storyline. There's some stuff that may have had issues with, like it's nothing given away here, but in one of the scenes, the main characters are trying to tell the people in Oklahoma, you need to hide. Well, people in Oklahoma fucking know when they gotta fucking hide. You don't
Right,
need to tell.
Where did you just get here?
Yeah, yes, but actually,
That's funny.
it's pretty good movie, and
Okay.
my wife's in love with the lead actor.
Okay, who's that?
I forget his name.
Glenn something or other.
Yeah, he was in
Glenn
Maverick.
Powell?
Yeah, he was in Maverick. He played.
Oh, yeah. Did he play
Yeah.
the?
Yeah, good looking dude.
Yeah.
Pretty charismatic.
Okay.
He's a bankable guy now.
So thinking about Twister or whatever, what did you guys think about Jurassic Park and the sequels behind that?
I mean,
Because Jurassic Park blew me away.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, you blew everybody away.
Yes,
Yeah.
the very first
Yes.
one was
And that's
incredible.
unfortunate when you come out and then you try to do something else. It's like, what else are you going to do?
That's another movie I don't think you needed any sequels to.
Thank you.
I mean, because I've seen most of the other ones, and it just didn't do it for me.
Okay, I agree. That's
Yeah,
the
so-
problem with doing stuff. They made money because Jurassic Park name, but it just didn't have the impact of.
I there were some parts of the sequels that I enjoyed with the different types of dinosaurs they brought back, and some of the storyline was okay. But yeah, you're right. Probably didn't need to be made into anything else. But
but
they
once
made
you
a shit ton of money.
But when you make that much money,
Yeah.
you know there's a sequel coming.
And they are entertaining though. I'll give them 100%. They're all entertaining.
I agree with you. I saw the second one in the theater as well, and then after that I didn't see any of the other ones in the theater.
Right.
per
I don't
se.
think I had either.
And I'm not even talking sequels like Lord of the Rings. We all knew
Sure.
those were good, right?
You
And-
had to go to the theater to see
well,
those.
of course, but we all knew every single one of those movies were going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know if those are really sequels. They were just
Oh,
the
you're
same
right.
movie that kept going.
Yeah, well,
They're parters, I should
it
call
was
it.
it was a planned trilogy because
Great point. I was.
I mean,
yeah.
originally they tried to make it into one movie, and like that was not going to happen. So they were supposed to make it into
Like,
two
was that
movies.
like a 9-hour movie?
Yeah, and that wasn't going to happen because it's based on. I mean, the Lord of the Rings is one book, but it's still really broken into 3 books,
Yes.
3 major
I mean,
books.
Tolkien was like a writing fool, who I think he had to do it for marketing purposes. Honestly, that's why I think they broke it up.
I suppose. I mean, because the Lord of the Rings is one complete novel, but the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and Return of the King are, of course, 3 separate
Yep. Parts of that.
parts of that one Lord of the Rings. So I don't really consider those movies
Sequels. They're
Part
okay.
two,
So Harry
part
Potter. Those aren't sequels either.
Well, each one is based on a book. So,
Okay.
yeah. Those are adaptations.
Of. Okay, but even those.
People are
kinda-
going to hate me for this, but I can't deal with Harry Potter.
No.
It's not my thing. I tried. I really tried. I couldn't get on board.
No, I think it served its purpose for the book. I think it did justice to the first couple books, but it became a enterprise, and it became something bigger than itself, and it was hard to keep up with it. And I think the same thing with Lord of the Rings. Once it becomes bigger than itself, it's like almost like the director and the actor, everybody tries to keep up with what instead of staying true to what it was.
The Hobbit series of movies.
Yeah.
Which were, of course, based on the one Hobbit
Hobbit.
book,
Yep.
the prequel to the Lord of the Rings.
Which there's a million of those, which I found out from
There's
flying
3.
on a plane.
Yeah, there's 3 of those, and they are not as good as
No.
the Lord of the Rings.
First one is no, not as good as Lord of the Rings, but even those in its own self of being a trilogy or being 3 movies within, the first one's better than the rest.
Yeah,
I think out of that, but
yeah, I think so.
I sat there and tried to watch those, and I'm like, how many freaking Hobbit movies are there?
There's 3.
Okay. And then the Lord of the Rings, you can't watch them on a plane because they are long as crap.
Unless you're flying to
Yes,
flying to New Zealand.
exactly.
Yeah, the end of Lord of the Rings, the 3rd part, the third installment, whatever you
Don't
want to
ruin
call it.
Don't ruin it for people.
I'm not, but there's like 6 endings. It kept ending. That's the only thing that got me.
Yo, am I still here?
I was happy with it.
No, I
was
was too
too.
because
I was
I read the books and I was excited they were coming out. And if we talk about books turned into movies, I thought it did it justice.
Yeah, I thought so too.
To creating that world that Tolkien thought, I thought they did as good a job as anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you could spend hours under any of these movie topics we're talking about, hours and hours, but I think I'm cashed out on sequels. I just can't think of any more, except for one.
Oh, what's that?
The Bad Boys.
Oh,
Bad Boys.
God. See, now you're getting into...
I'm fucking with you guys.
No, but you're in that genre where it's just kind of like, man, you could do Beverly Hills Cops, Bad Boys.
Axel was great, actually.
Yeah, I think
Lethal Weapon,
Yeah.
Die Hard.
They're making another Lethal Weapon.
Of course they are, because they don't do new movies anymore.
Die Hard's, I liked them.
Is Danny Glover retired yet?
I don't know. Is Mel Gibson coming back?
I don't know. Really?
I tell you, the Bad Boys one. We got Will Smith and what's the other guy's
Martin
name?
Lawrence.
Yeah,
Lawrence,
that dude looks like he had a stroke in the middle of this movie. He should not have been in the movie.
Wait, which one? The
This
new
last
one?
one, yeah, for real, man. Man,
He's getting paid.
damn, I felt bad. The movie was kind of fun. Had some good stuff in it, for real.
It still cost him
It really did.
$2.2
But I
million
felt
to
bad
get
for
him on
Martin
our
Lawrence.
set.
I felt bad for Martin Lawrence. He just tells something wasn't right with him, like for real.
Right.
Not right with him.
Okay.
Yeah, but the movie was still pretty good.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I did.
Because you were bought into that duo.
Yeah.
And you didn't care. You didn't care about the movie. You went to see a fun movie.
Yeah, but at the end, my wife and I went, man, Martin Lawrence, what the fuck?
If you walk out of there saying that. But those are, I think those you categorize in the fun sequels. That you don't care. You're not looking for anything to be better.
I don't want to see the latest Beverly Hills Cop. I mean,
no, neither do I. Because
just-
the actors are the two actors that made that right are past their prime,
yes.
and it doesn't matter to me on how they roll it out, what they do.
It's still entertaining, I'm telling you.
Okay,
I'm talking about
That's one man's opinion.
Beverly Hills Cop.
I know, Axel. I saw the movie.
I have noticed. I have
Foley, they call it.
I
Is
have
it
no
Foley or
desire
Axel?
to see-
I don't know. It just seems no.
I know,
It
I
was of
agree.
its time, and I don't want to see.
right, and you could have made 3 within 3 years, and I watched them all.
Yeah,
What
But I
else,
don't-
what else you going to watch?
That's true too.
another 48 hours. Okay, well, we've talked about a lot tonight.
What did we talk about, Greg?
I don't know.
We didn't talk about the highs and lows and in betweens of
Yeah, we're gonna
We
stuff
didn't.
this one away. So when you hear this one, it's gonna be a special edition because we have nothing else to put out.
So coming soon.
Right. So what we talk about, Greg? The highs?
Highs, lows, in betweens.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't talk about that.
No.
We talked about
No, we talked about
sequels and remakes.
sequels, remakes,
Some other crap.
Just some shit.
some stuff.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a good night.
Exactly.
Good
Thanks
night.
for listening. Cheers.
Indie film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.